Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaur Hari Bo,
Nitai Gaur Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaur Hari Bo.
Jai Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Jai Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande, Jayom Vishnupad Paramahansa Paribrajak Acharya Ashtatara Sata Srimad, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki, ISKCON Founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada Ki, Nitya Lila Pravishtam Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada Ki, Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda Ki, Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki, Prem Shikoho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Ki, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki, Vrindavan Mayapur Dham Ki, Ganga Maye Yamuna Maye Ki, Tulsi Maharani Bhakti Devi Ki, Harinam Sankirtan Ki. All glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories assembled devotees, all glories Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga, all glories Srila Prabhupada. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namane Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachate Shatarine.
Hare Krishna.
So have you got a name for this land yet?
For now it's a Bhakti Van.
Bhakti Van. So welcome all the devotees to Bhakti Van.
欢迎所有的奉献者来 Bhakti Van。
Means that Van is forest, is it?
Van 是森林的意思，
Yeah. So the forest of devotional service.
奉爱服务的森林，
Better than the forest of material enjoyment, right?
比物质感官享乐的森林要好，对不对？
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
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 Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayat Nasta prayeshu vabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavati naishtake. So we are having an introduction to this project of Marichi and his good wife.
我们要对马来西法布和他的好的妻子这个工程要简单的介绍一下。
They want to show us how to live a natural and simple life in the Holy Land.
他向我们展示如何过这种简朴的生活，崇高的思想。
Depending on nature.
依赖大自然，
Right? We want to depend more on nature.
我们更多的要依赖自然。
Nature is better than technology.
大自然比技术要好。
People run to technology. They're looking for a comfortable life of sense gratification.
人们用那种技术来追求这种感官享乐。
But we want to understand human life is not meant for just more sense
我们要
gratification.
知道，人体生命并不意味着更多的感官享乐，
Human life is meant for self-realization.
人体生命意味着自我觉悟，觉悟自我。
And for self-realization, we have to give up depending on things like technology.
为了觉悟自我，我们应该放弃这种依靠这种技术而活。
Technology has made all of us very
这
lazy.
种高科技让人觉得特别，让人觉得懒，让人变得懒惰。
We just want to press buttons, turn on the plug into the electricity, and
搞这种电
press
子，
buttons for everything.
只干什么事儿只摁一个电脑电钮，一切都 OK 了。这种
So, Krishna consciousness is meant for, we say, simple living and high thinking.
奎斯的知觉意味着简朴的生活，崇高的思想。
But we go the other way. We have complicated living and low thinking.
如果我们要做其他事情，要我们陷入这种更加复杂的这种无用的这个劳作之中。
So people need to see an example. It's not enough for us just to preach about these things. We have to show the example.
所以我们不仅是要给人们去传播传教，还要给别人树立一个榜样，让别人去看。
We need ourselves, in our own life, our own daily lives, we need to make life more basic and natural.
所以要看我们每天日常的生活都是那么自然和正常。
And Srila Prabhupada often told us, he said, this modern civilization is doomed to failure. It will never succeed.
这个徐乐啪啪曾经告诉我们，这种生活永远不会获得成功。
We have to get ready for everything falling apart.
我们应该做好准备，每一样事情都要到位。
The modern world, look at the condition today of the modern world.
我们看这种现代的这种世界，这种生活，
So many things have stopped. So many industries have stopped.
很多事情都变得非常的减弱和终止、停止了。
Tourism has stopped.
旅游业停止了，
Many airlines have practically closed down.
航空业都关门了。
People are forced to think how to live a more natural life.
人们被迫去思考如何过这种自然的生活。
Many years ago, I remember in the 1970s, Tamal Krishna Goswami was here in India with Prabhupada, and Jayadvaita Swami interviewed him about Indian life.
我记得在70年代，我还记得在70年代是塔毛奎桑哥swami跟跟随泡泡在印度的时候，加亚对特swami对他们进行这种采访，有关这种印度的文化。
At that time, Jayadvaita Swami was the editor for the Back to Godhead magazine.
当时加亚对特swami是回归守神杂志的主编，
So he was asking Tamal Krishna Goswami about life in India.
他问塔毛奎桑哥swami有关在印度的这种生活。
Now this is 50 years ago.
但是50年前，
Yes. So life was different 50 years ago.
50年前的生活和现在的生活大相径庭。
If you'd come to Mayapur 50 years ago, there was just simply the Lotus building. There was only one building, the
在
Lotus
在
building.
50年前你来玛雅坡的时候，只有那个莲花楼。
And just a few years before that, there was only Prabhupada's Bhajan Kutir.
在更之前呢，就是只有这个泡帕的巴赞库提尔。
You know that place when you come in the gate there in Mayapur where the Gornitai deities are?
你们到那玛雅坡的正门，你看到了吧？那个狗利泰的那个庙，那个
That was where everybody lived. Everyone lived in that
那
room.
个时候每个人都住在那个狗利泰那个小棚的那里。
Prabhupada,
泡帕也住那儿，
Jananivas Prabhu,
那尼瓦尔帕布也住在那儿。
and Achyutananda Swami,
啊，丘特南达斯瓦米，
and some other devotees.
还有其他的奉献者都住在那个小茅屋里。
And when it flooded, which it did, usually it would flood every rainy season, then everyone would live up on the roof.
如果洪水来了，他们怎么办？都爬到草棚顶上去了。洪水来的时候，
So it was very simple. There were no shops out there at the gateway.
那时候没商店，没店铺。
I first came to Mayapur 1975.
我来玛雅坡的时候是1975年，
There was one tea shop at the main gate.
只有一个茶铺哈，
Champu.
茶店儿就喝茶的店儿。
And some of the devotees would come to buy a tea biscuit.
来
Tea biscuit.
茶的饼干，茶做的饼干。有几个奉献者不说偷摸吧，反正也到那儿去买茶做的饼干吃。
That was the sense gratification.
这是一种感官享乐。
And all the Maha went to the sannyasis, the big sannyasis. The Maha prasadam was eaten by all the
啊，那
sannyasis.
个玛哈婆萨呢，他们吃不着，都给那些山亚西吃了。他们去吃饼干。
There was only a few sannyasis.
当那个时候，只有几位，有一些山亚西人。
And so it was very basic, natural, simple life.
那时候就非常基本的那种很自然的生活。
And people started to come gradually to Mayapur.
然后逐渐的人们开始来到了玛雅坡，
And they liked it. They really liked it. It was so peaceful and natural.
他们特别喜欢这里，那么平和，还很自然，
Rice fields everywhere.
到处都有稻田地，稻田。
We tried to grow rice last year on the land at the Mayapur Institute.
我们去年在那个玛雅坡的学院试图种一些稻田，大米地儿。
50% was eaten by the birds.
50%被鸟吃了，
And we lost money.
我们损失老笔钱了，钱都丢了，都损失了。
Not so easy to grow rice.
在这儿长大米没那么容易。
The rice grew to a certain point and then it just fell over.
而且它这个稻田长到一定以后，它就会就这样。
It looks easy, but if you don't know what you're doing, it's not so easy.
看起来容易，如果你不知道怎么玩，就不容易。
The easy thing to grow, you could probably notice everywhere you see the fields yellow, that's the mustard they're growing.
我看
The fields, in the fields, mustard, 怎么说？
那个芥末子，
So that's easy to grow. Doesn't take much. You just
对芥末子，你随便一撒，它很容易长，不需要特别的照顾。来，
and the birds don't eat it.
然后鸟就过来吃。
No,
啊，鸟过来不吃，那个鸟想吃米，不吃芥末籽儿。
So it's easy to grow the mustard.
所以养芥末籽儿很容易。
And the Bengali people, they love vegetables cooked with mustard oil.
这个孟加拉人更喜欢啊，他们
喜欢吃。
孟加拉人更喜欢吃芥末籽儿的油，芥末油，那个味儿很呛人。
Prabhupada said oil is for the body and ghee is for the stomach.
泡泡说是什么油对身体？
什么油都可以。
身体呀、用什么油都可以，但是那个胃需要什么油？需要 ghee， 酥油，我们中国翻译成酥油。胃需要 ghee， 身体你抹啥油都好使。
So the Bengali people, they like the oil they like the most is the mustard oil.
所以这个孟加拉人最喜欢的这个芥末油，芥末籽油。
It's easy to grow, easy to harvest.
所以这个芥末籽啊，很容易长，也很容易获得丰收。
And you can see also here many banana trees.
大家看这里，香蕉树比比皆是，
They're also easy to grow.
所以它们长得太容易了，很容易长。
Put them in the ground, and you don't have to take much care of them. They grow.
往地上一撒种子，不需要太多的照顾，它就呼呼长。
And you put one in, and then another one comes up by the side of it, and then another one.
完了，
And
你把它扔完以后，这长出来，那个旁边你要不知道，这个旁边就就是互相长，
all the land becomes covered with the banana
然后
trees.
整片一片地被香蕉树所覆盖。
And there's many things to eat from the banana tree.
所以到哪里有这种很容易长这种香蕉树，
You can eat the banana fruit.
而且这香蕉树还都能吃，咱家
You can eat the banana flower,
香蕉叶、香蕉树、香蕉花、
Yeah.
香蕉叶，
and you can eat the stalk of the banana tree.
不，香蕉树的 stalk 树杆都可以用，就是它全身都是宝，都可以用。
And you can eat your food off the banana leaf.
你还吃这个香蕉叶中的果实，还可以吃。
The boys in the Gurukula, they ate every day from a banana leaf.
这个咕噜库拉的男孩子们每天都吃这种香蕉叶，
都用香蕉叶当盘子。
不累是吧？对，他总是把香蕉叶当盘子。咕噜库拉那些男孩的每天。
There's a special layer on the banana leaf that, there's two sides. You have to put the shiny side upper. You look, there's two sides. One side is dull, that goes below, and the shiny side up, and, a little water to clean it. And then you put your food on it, and when you eat the food, you get some magic layer, which is on the banana leaf.
因为这个香蕉叶很特别，它分成上下两层，上面那层特别的光滑，完你在上面把食物放在上面那个叶里后，它有那种神奇的那种味道也特殊的。
And it's very good, very healthy.
对身体健康特别有好处。
Sometimes people from the West, they bring their family members here to Mayapur. And when the family members come and they give them food from a banana leaf, they're like, oh. They've never had the experience of eating from a banana leaf.
因为那个西方的国家带着家属来到玛雅坡，完了给他吃饭，给他这个香蕉叶，他们一看，他们从来没体验过，所以他不知道用香蕉叶当盘子吃。
But it's very, very healthy, a very good way to eat your food.
但是特别健康，对这个食物这个味道好极了，你知道用。
And you can see how many banana trees are here.
你看这里老皮的香蕉树，
You can eat a lot of plates of prasadam.
你们在这里用菩萨那个盘子可老多了啊，这里。
So that's simple living. You have a banana leaf, and after you take the banana, you can it's not a problem. There's no problem for litter with banana leaves.
而且在这里呢，你把这个香蕉这个叶子用完之后泼撒上以后，它不会当做一种废料垃圾扔，就很容易处理，不是个问题。
But if you bring a plastic plate and plastic spoon, and plastic cups, and so many pieces of plastic everywhere, they don't degrade, they don't break down, they don't go back to the land,
如果你用那种塑料盘子、塑料勺、塑料杯呀， 他到他那里这个对大自然这个图来说，他没法回收，也不是很自然的。
You go into the countryside, you go in the small villages now, all you see everywhere plastic, pieces of plastic everywhere.
你看到哪个村里，现在这个塑料的生意都蒸蒸日上，到处村里都有做这种像塑料制品。
It'll take many years to ever get to go away. To bring.
需要很多年才能消化这些塑料制品。
But when we use nature's resources, it's much nicer and there's no problems for the environment.
如果用这种自然的产品的话，就没有这样的问题，对环境来说也不是那么太糟糕的。
So in Mayapur, the shops in Mayapur are not supposed to use plastic. When they sell goods, they're not supposed to give you any of the goods you purchase in a plastic bag. No.
在玛雅坡，他一般卖这种这个物品的话，他们都一般不是给你这种，
不可以给你
这种
橡
塑
胶
料袋，他不会给你这塑料袋。
They're not supposed to.
不应该给塑料袋。你买东西
It's
不
a
应该。
law in Mayapur by the Mayapur Management Committee. The people who run Mayapur, they've ordered no plastic bags in Mayapur.
玛雅坡的管理委员会已经命令说，要卖食物不要给别人那个塑料袋子装。
And they have these kind of cloth bags which they give.
那种布做的那个袋子，给他们用布做的袋子装。
These are no problem for environment.
因为这个布袋啊，对环境来说没有问题。
But you can see today everything's in plastic. Bottles of water in plastic bottles.
你看那个装那个水的瓶子都是塑料瓶。
And then they have sometimes they have these aluminium foil plates.
我的妈！
Aluminium, it's like a metal covering.
那种金属的那种盖，锡箔的，都是那种现在装那东西就是锡箔那种金属的装的那个。
And they have also the totos, the rickshaws. They're using petrol. But in Mayapur, we don't allow any petrol vehicles. They have to use vehicles which are charged.
现在你看那个打的车呀，都用汽油。那个玛雅坡都说，因为禁止用这种汽油的交通工具。
We want to keep the air free of pollution in Mayapur.
我们要希望在玛雅坡没有这种空气的污染。
We want to try to make Mayapur a nice, hygienic environment which is different from the rest of India.
我们要玛雅坡和印度其他地方不一样，要充满这种洁净。
You go to Calcutta, so much traffic, so much pollution, air pollution, noise pollution, everything.
你看去加尔各答有那么多的空气污染、声音的污染、噪音都是污染。
But we want to keep Mayapur nice and clean and pure and healthy and natural.
我们要使玛雅坡变得健康、自然、洁净。
So our living has to be also like that. We have to live also naturally and simply.
我们也要使我们的生活变得自然和健康。
We cannot depend on everybody else to grow our food for us.
我们不能依靠别人为我们种食物，给我们食物。
And you cannot depend on others to build your apartments for you.
我也不能为了让别人为你建一座楼、一座房子。
You have your apartment. If there's no electricity one day, you're going to be in trouble.
你现在如果没有电的话，你就很陷入麻烦里。
We want to live without depending on other people for survival.
我们不应该依靠他人而存活。
We should be able to live with the gifts of nature.
我们依靠大自然的馈赠礼物来而活。
Prabhupada said we may have to make our own paper in the future.
奥巴说，甚至我们应该将来我们为自己准备 paper
Yeah.
纸
Sure.
纸张，我们也要将来为我们自己做，我们自己做。
You may not be able to get books in the future if there's no paper.
如果没有纸张的话，将来也没有书。
We have to produce our own paper.
我们自己要有那种制造纸。
The Goswamis, 500 years ago in the times of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they wrote the books. They wrote them on palm leaves.
在彩参加那年代，那个哥斯瓦米们写字都写在那个棕榈叶上。
We get our palm leaf. You get some palm leaves, write our notes on. We're depending so much on technology. We have our mobile phones. We have computers.
我们现在过度的依靠这种高科技，什么手机呀、电脑啊。
Without these things, oh, what will we do? How will we ever live?
如果没有这些，我们会想，哎呀，我们怎么活呀？没这些，我们怎么玩啊？
And nowadays also, what do you want to buy something? You go online and you find it online and oh yes, I'll order this and tell them to bring it here.
啊，现在购物都在网上购物啊，网上有我喜欢的，快给我送货上门。
Right, I want this thing. Oh, it's not here in India. We have to get it from China. Or we get it from America.
印度如果没有，我们可以从中国来，从美国进口给我送过来。
That is not simple living.
这可不是简朴的生活。
We want to just depend on what's provided by nature.
所以我们要生存应该依靠这个大自然。
We see some of the devotees in the Gurukul wooden shoes.
你看那个咕噜库拉的学生，他们有这个木鞋，
Yeah, Moshe.
孩子们都穿木屐。
And in Prabhupada's time, we were making the cloth in Mayapur. The ladies' saris, the men's dhotis and kurtas, everything was made in Mayapur.
哦，在帕帕的年代，那个马拉的那个纱丽啊，帕帕那个兜体啊，裤体都是我们自己做的，来，
Yeah.
都是我们自己做的。
Yeah, there were Bengali ladies.
有个孟加拉的女士，她会做，
They had the spinning wheel and the
她就按那种纺织，
handlooms. Hand.
用手工，手工做的，
Very nice cloth.
衣服做的可漂亮了，老好了。
Simple, cool to wear in the hot weather, very cool.
很简单，不管是严寒酷暑，它都可以做。
But today everything that's all chemicals, everything chemicals.
你看现在我们穿都是化学品组合。
We're so attached to technology, using technology.
我们太依附高科技了。
This chair,
你看那椅子，
technology.
高科技的产物。
Everything was just made by hand in the past.
过去啊，做啥东西都是手工制品。
The man would come with the hammer and the chisel and some wood, and he'd make a chair.
你跟那个以前人们拿个锤子，拿木头就可以造这个椅子，
Just like the deity altar,
就像这个神像那个神坛，
they would make by hand everything.
一切都是手工制品。
Nice, simple living.
非常好的这种简朴的生活。
Marichi showed me the gate. We entered today we opened the cut the ribbon to enter the gate. New gate was put up.
我们刚才这门儿里发布的那个门呐，开那门，我们大家都从这门已经来了，
With bamboo.
是这个颁布这个竹门，right?
And there's some devotees. We have nice devotees. His Holiness Bhakti Raghava Swami. He tells his disciples. He said, "You want me to come to your house?" He said, "I will come, but I will only eat what you grow."
那个 Raghava Swami，right?
Bhakti Raghava.
Bhakti Raghava Swami 跟他们说，如果你要邀请我去你家，我只有一个要求，我必须吃你自己种的哈，你自己生产的东西，我必须吃你自生产的粮食。
If you didn't grow it, I don't want it.
如果你没有生产粮食，我可不想去你家。
That's how it should be. That should be the standard.
这就应该是一个标准。
Prabhupada liked to see devotees grow their own food for themselves.
泡帕者喜欢看奉献者自己生产粮食。
So here in Mayapur, it's a wonderful place. This is the Ganga Basin. We're near to the river Ganges, so all the land is very fertile.
所以这个玛雅坡是一个非常美的地方，一切周围所遇都是恒河流经的地方，都是恒河浸泡过的土地。
So the land is very good to grow things.
所以这个土地非常适合长东西。
You could feed the whole world
No.
on this land in Bengal.
孟加拉的土地可以喂养全世界的人。
Very nice land, very easy flat land, and you can plant, you can grow things 2-3 times a year.
可以这个肥沃的土地一年3茬，
You have water from the Ganga. You have no problem for water.
有恒河之水，没有水资源匮乏的问题。
And you can feed the cows. You have nice grass growing for the cows.
有这种好长的这么好的，可以喂养这个母牛、奶牛。
We need cows, and the cows should be giving milk.
我们要很好的，我们需要母牛、奶牛产奶。
We don't just keep cows for people to look at.
我们不是为了养牛，就是让人们来看一看，观光。
People come and see the cows, and they feed the cows,
人们来看牛，完了喂这个牛，
and the cows don't give any milk.
但是母牛还会产奶。
What is it good to keep the cow if it doesn't give milk? Why? There's no point to have a cow.
如果你养母牛不产奶，你养牛有什么用？
Of course, you can get the cow dung.
当然了，需要牛粪。
Cow dung is a fuel, valuable fuel,
牛粪是一个好的燃料，
and it's also good for fertilizer for the soil.
对这个也是土壤的增肥剂，
And it's also antiseptic, so it has many medicinal qualities.
而且这对这个防腐剂、抗菌防腐剂，这个牛粪。
But the most important quality of the cow is milk.
而这个母牛最重要的价值品质是什么？是这个牛奶。
And the bull is meant to be used for plowing the fields.
公牛用于耕地。
We see people, they brought their tractors and machinery instead of the bull.
现在耕地都用这个拖拉机来代替公牛。
So Prabhupada, he didn't like to see us depend on all the machinery.
所以泡帕可不喜欢这种依靠这种机器。
He said that in the future, you may not get petrol to run these machines.
如泡帕说，将来没有汽油了，你这个机器就没用了。
If there's no petrol, what good is your machines?
所以如果没有汽油的话，这个机器它有什么用呢？
So I was telling Jayadvaita Swami interviewed Tamal Krishna Goswami about life in India.
所以我讲到这个加对特swami采访塔毛奎萨沟swami有关这个在印度的生活的情况。
And he was asking about how people live. How do people live here in India?
他问这个印度人是怎么在这里生活的？
And he explained that people work the land. This India is a rural country. It's based on agriculture. We live off the land.
所以他讲到印度，尤其是农村的人，他们以这个农业为主，尤其在这个农村。
You grow some vegetables and you plant trees and you get fruits and you get flowers. Everything grows by the gifts of nature.
然后这个通过大自然的馈赠的礼物，他们在这里种树啊，种庄稼、养花啊，也种水果。
And we have the cows to give the milk and the bulls to plow the field.
然后用那个奶牛呢挤奶，用公牛去耕地。
Tamal Krishna Goswami said, you cannot eat nuts and bolts. Do you know nuts and bolts? Do you know screws? There's nuts and bolts. Where is it?
螺丝。
Oh,
塔毛奎萨跟我说，你不能用这个螺丝去火了，
to eat.
啊，你不能吃螺丝钉，螺丝钉谁能吃？谁吃不了。
So what is the good of all these factories? The factories don't produce any food.
你工厂有什么用？工厂不制造任何的粮食。
How many food people can you feed from the factory?
而粮食却能供养这个工厂里的人。
The most important thing is to have food.
所以最重要的东西是粮食。
And so we get food from the land, we work the land, we plant seeds and we cultivate the crops.
所以呀、你想要粮食，需要土地，需要播种，需要耕作。
That is the most pious profession.
这是最虔诚的职业。耕种啊，农耕是最虔诚的职业。
But in modern society, people are so polluted and contaminated by materialistic life. They look down on people who farm.
所以现在的生活由于受物质主义的这种生活的污染呢、他们贬低或看低这种农耕的生活。
Now, if you tell someone, I'm a farmer, they say, oh, you're a simple farmer.
如果你告诉别人说我是个农民，他一看哦，非常贬低，哦，你原来是个农夫啊。
But if you tell someone you work in a big company, they, oh,
如果你
very.
告诉他我在大公司里头工作，哦，老牛了。
People are so foolish, they're so blind, they don't see what is actually the proper way to live in
所以
this
现在的
world.
人那么愚昧，那么愚蠢，他们并不知道一个正确的自然的生活方式是什么样的。
So Prabhupada encouraged all the householders especially that they should have some land and they should have they should have a cow and they should grow their food.
所以泡泡告诉这个居士啊，你居士生活呢，最好有一片地，还有一些母牛，
They grow their food.
然后生产粮食，居士的生活。
You go to Russia, you go to China, you see everywhere people have got some land.
你要去俄罗斯、去中国，你看人家都有一片地儿，
They've got some land to grow their
都可以
food.
得到一片地儿去生产粮食。
That means they go in the fields and they work.
你有地就意味着什么？你得去干活。
Now in Mayapur, more and more devotees are becoming inspired to cultivate the land.
在玛雅坡，越来越多的奉献者被激励去养地儿。
And so Marichi Prabhu and his wife, they have taken this land and you can see they're cultivating different crops and many banana trees.
所以你看，马瑞喜和他的妻子来到这儿，有一片地开始种庄稼。
They have their own apartment in the Mayapur, but they prefer to be here.
他们在玛雅坡那儿也有地儿，他们也在这儿买了个地儿。
And they're building a house. This is going to be the home. This,
他在这准备建房子，将来是他们的家。
all right, the wall
看这墙，
made from mud,
用泥土，
no cement.
没有那个这个水泥。
No cement, no steel,
没有钢筋水泥，
just mud.
全是泥土盖的。
Very nice, natural, simple.
非常好，很自然的这种简朴的生活。
And nearby is Jalangi.
附近是杰朗给河，
Yeah. So a lot of water is available.
所以很容易获得大量的水。
You can live here very natural, peacefully, chant Hare Krishna,
所以在这儿啊，可以平和的、自然的生活，然后在这儿唱诵 Hare Krishna，
and grow some simple vegetables and fruits.
然后生产这些很简单的水果和蔬菜，
And provide for one's own basic needs, very naturally.
提供这些最基本的生活所需，很自然。
So we encourage all devotees, you try also like this. You think about how to simplify our life.
所以我们要鼓励在座的奉献者要想想如何让自己的生活变得简单。
We want to be more in the mode of goodness.
我们应该学会在善良形态中生活。
We say you live in the city, that's a place of passion.
我们知道生活在城市里那是激情形态的地方，
But live in the countryside, it's a mode of goodness.
但是生活在农村则是善良形态的地方。
Of course, not everybody in the countryside lives in the mode of goodness.
当然了，不是所有的农村都是善良形态的地方。
But we need to show people how to live in the mode of goodness.
我们应该向人们展示如何过这种善良形态的生活，
Growing vegetables and fruits and offering them to Krishna.
生产蔬菜和水果，把它们供奉给 Krishna。
Prabhupada said we should grow our own grains. We shouldn't have to just go to supermarket and buy things.
泡泡说，我们应该生产自己的谷物，没必要去超市去购物。
People, nowadays, what do people do? They go shopping, go to supermarket, they buy their rice, they buy their fruits, they buy their vegetables in the big supermarkets. They don't grow anything.
所以他们现在人们去什么？他们去超市就买这种米呀、水果呀、蔬菜呀，大型超市。
And it's all polluted with so many chemicals.
而且那些东西都有大量有着化学品的污染，
It's all unnatural things.
都是不健康的食物。
So we want people to think more about how to live a natural lifestyle.
所以我们要大家再深深的思考一下，如何过一种这种简朴的生活，
Depending on Krishna
依赖 Krishna。
and our own hard work as well.
同时我们要努力的工作。
Right? We can't be lazy. You come and live in the countryside, you're going to have land, you have to be willing to go out there into the land every day and do some work.
不要那么懒，有了地儿，你得每天得下地去干活。
But that's a very healthy life.
这就是一个健康的生活。
You think working in a big office in a multinational company in a big multi-story building with air conditioning and artificial lighting, is that healthy lifestyle?
你认为到一个大公司里头工作，有那种交通的设备，有这种空调，有这种什么电光、电什么？你认为在那种环境下就是一个健康自然的生活吗？
Or you sit in a nice big car with your AC on and you're driving your car.
然后你有一个好车，里面还有空调，你认为开这个车爽吗？
Is that nice, healthy life?
这种生活健康吗？
You want healthy life? Here it is.
如果你想要一种健康的生活的话，这里就是。
Go out in the fields, do some farming, do some agricultural work.
出去到田地里去农耕，是好的生活。
And take care of the cows.
然后照顾奶牛、母牛，
It's also very, very important.
非常重要的事儿。
Right? Lord Balaram is Haladar. He carries the plow. Plow is meant for farming work.
这个巴拉让嘛，它被称为哈拉达尔，它手持一个犁用来干嘛？耕种。
And Lord Krishna, he's Murlidhar. He's playing the flute.
这个Krishna 被称为穆里达尔，他吹笛子。
Calling the cows.
为什么吹笛子？呼唤母牛来啊！
So, Krishi Go Raksha Vaninam Vaishya Karma Swabhavajam. The duty of the Vaishya is this Krishi Go Raksha, to do the farming and the cow protection.
这个歪下的职责就是农耕，照顾母牛。
Yes, what's your problem?
那个只呼唤母牛，不呼唤公牛吗？
Krishna， 好的，吹笛子。
吹笛
Play the flute. It's called cow, not called bull.
啊？
啊？
不是，我的意思是他只呼唤母牛，不呼唤公牛。
Yeah.
性别。
它是指
I said the cow gives the milk, and the bull plows the field.
我们刚才说了，母牛产奶，公牛耕地。
Krishna takes the cows to the fields to eat grass.
Krishna 照顾这个母牛，让这个母牛吃地里的草。
The bulls, they're working in the fields, pulling the plow.
那个公牛呢在田地里工作，还有什么 pulling 的
Pull the plow. Yeah.
啊，它是耕种。公牛在田地里干活是耕种。
But the cows, they just go to the forest and they eat grass.
母牛干什么活呢？到森林里就吃草。
And they
哪也不干
drink water.
啊，他们就喝水，
And then they come back
然后就回家了。
and they give a lot of milk.
然后回家以后干嘛？产奶。
They're very happy.
他们开心死了。
Just like women. Women not supposed to go to work.
就像妇女不应该去上班，
They're not supposed to go to factories.
妇女不应该去工厂干活，
They're supposed to be in the home,
她们应该待在家里，
do the cooking and cleaning.
在家里怎么做饭、清洁家务。
You know, China,
中国
the whole world, the women all working. Even in India now, the women are also
现在
working.
全世界不，还有印度这些妇女们都得上班工作。
Women are not supposed to work. They're supposed to be at home.
其实妇女呀、不应该工作，应该在家待着。
So this is the Vedic lifestyle,
这是伟大的生活方式，
living off the land.
只靠土地而活，
Everything is provided for our needs.
一切都能会满足我们的需求，只是依靠土地就可以满足我们需求。
We need some food, we need some cloth, you need a place to live.
我们需要这个吃的，我们需要穿的，一切都来自于这土地。
Prabhupada used to be a follower of Mahatma Gandhi.
帕帕德曾经是马哈特玛圣雄甘地的追随者。
So Gandhi, he had many people came to join him. He had a movement and he had many people who joined him.
当时圣雄甘地的运动有很多人都来加入他这个运动，
And nobody was paid.
但是没工资，打义工了。
Everybody was given roti, kapre, and makan.
人人都给这三样东西
Roti,
：roti
面包
面包、
bread, right? Chapati,
chapati、
kapre, cloth. This is kapre.
这个衣服被称为 capri。
Kapre wala. Kapre dian.
capri
Kapre, cloth. Right? And then makan.
makan
A house.
房子，
This
就这里，
mud house.
泥房子，泥土做的。
We don't need to live in a palace.
我们没必要住在这个
宫殿。
对，宫殿里。啊？
泥房他们有屋顶吗？
什么？
有屋顶吗？
屋顶，屋顶了。
等一等，需要时间啊，还没盖好。He's asking where's the roof. He said, in mud huts they don't have a roof.
妈的，有，但你等一等，还没盖起来呢，你需要时间，肯定有啊。
Okay. So, Krishna consciousness, this Mayapur Dham, there's a lot of people coming to live here in Mayapur. More and more people want to come and live here. Is it only for the rich to live in Mayapur?
现在在伊斯康马尔普大有很多越来越多人都来到这里居住，难道在这里居住是为了富有吗？
Of course, some people who come and live in Mayapur are very rich.
当然，有的人住在马尔普老富的冒油了。
But that's not the purpose of Mayapur, just to attract only rich people.
当然了，住在马尔普的目的不是为了吸引那些富有的人，
It's meant for people to come and live a natural life.
是吸引人到这里过一种更自然的这种生活方式。
Community here.
在这里有社团，
So we want everyone to feel that this is a nice place for people to live and to work together.
在这里是一块在一起工作、一起合 合作，在一起共同生活的好地方。
Not just for people with a lot of money to live here, to retire here.
而不是说他有了钱来到这里过这种退休的生活。
No, it's meant for people to cultivate Krishna consciousness
是为了来这里培养 Krishna 自觉的，
by living simply, naturally, depending on nature.
而且通过简朴的生活，通过依赖这种自然，过这种大自然，过这种自然的生活来体现。
Growing lots of nice vegetables and fruits.
生长这些上好的蔬菜和水果。
So there's so much land we're not cultivating.
所以这里有大片的土地需要耕种。
We should be willing to go out there every day, to put in a few hours every day, go on the land and do some farming, do some agriculture work.
所以我们要愿意，要自愿的去每天就到这种田地里、耕地里去农耕去工作。
And you can solve all the problems of the world by living a more simple, natural life.
我们看到我们这个世界上所有的问题都通过过这种正常的自然的生活而被解决。
If we take shelter only of money, our economic situation, that will not protect us.
如果你只脱避于这个金钱，脱避于经济发展的话，这些都不会保护我们的。
But if we take shelter of Krishna through his gifts in this world, the gifts of nature, that will give us real shelter.
如果我们通过这种大自然这馈赠的礼物土地的话，来脱避于亏损的话，我们这是真正的保护，真正的庇护。
There's so much bamboo.
有这么多的竹子，
You can build nice bamboo houses.
你可以用这个竹子建好的房子。
We don't need to live in luxury.
我们不需要住的那么奢华奢侈
Air conditioning,
啊，空调、
televisions,
电视，
so many unnatural things.
那么多非自然的东西。
We want to just simply depend on Krishna.
我们只是简单的依靠 Krishna，
So chanting Hare Krishna and doing some simple work for Krishna, working on the land, that will purify us.
我们只是唱诵 Hare Krishna， 然后依赖这种农耕的话，我们就能得到净化。
If you spend every day a few hours working on the land, it's very good for the health.
如果你花几小时用于农耕的话，对你身体健康相当有好处。
We can see in China so many people work in the fields. They're there 80 years old. They're out there still in the fields working.
我们看在中国呀，有的人都70、80了，还在农地里干活。
But in the West, or we see people in the cities, as soon as they get 40 or 50, they can't even sit on the ground, you know, they can't bend their legs. Oh, I'm so stiff. Oh.
你看在大城市的那个欧洲国家，有的人40、50了，这个腿呀都弯不过来，坐在那儿也坐不了，就是腿脚都不利落。哎呀，我都弯不了弯儿啊，
Can hardly walk.
走路都走不了，不能正常的行走。
So who's better off?
到底他们当中哪个更好啊？
So we prefer the natural life. It may be simple, but it's natural, and we feel more peaceful and satisfied.
所以我们更喜欢这种自然的生活，这样的生活让我们更平和，更心满意足。
Okay, any questions? Prabhu, we have our Minister of Agriculture here.
Yeah, we want to also welcome Kalakanta Prabhu from Brazil. He's the ISKCON Minister of Agriculture.
那个我们欢迎的来自巴西的伊斯康的
Kalakanta.
卡拉坎塔帕布，来自于巴西的
That's the Minister of Agriculture
这
on the GBC.
GBC 农业管理的头。
This is a Minister of Agriculture and Cow Protection.
What?
Cow protection.
头牌，
保护
母牛管理委员会的头，2个委员会的头。
So this is a great honor that he's here today.
我们非常感到荣幸，他今天能够光顾这里。
With his wife and his daughter.
还有他的妻子和他的女儿。
Maybe one day we can invite him to give some lecture also to the Chinese devotees. He will be here for 3 months.
Oh, good. Yes.
他有计划的。对，他不有计划，在未来的3个月。
他准备待3个月。
他准备在这儿马不待3个月，他计划有给中国的奉献者讲课。
Maharaj, I'd like to congratulate for your beautiful lecture.
我非常感谢你那么美丽的讲课。
Actually, it's so important that the leaders, the teachers, show what Prabhupada really wanted.
我们需要这个领导和领袖来展示须勒帕帕所希望的。
And once someone was asking me, how are we going to convince devotees to take this lifestyle?
我们被问及如何说服奉献者能过这种很自然的这种生活方式。
And I thought the only way is to do this, to show the experience that
所以
they have.
有一个方法是让大家来到这里来体验到这个美好的时光，来体验一下。
When it's a hot summer, this wall is going to be so cool that everybody's going to notice the difference.
到这里来以后，这里的空气送爽，大家的体验就不一样了。
And then the space that he can experience, the feeling of
这
space,
空
and fruits and vegetables.
这个空气呀、蔬菜啊，各种各样的都有这种亲身的体验。
So you have said everything in this beautiful lecture, and I'm very grateful for that.
所以我非常感激你给我们讲了这么生动的、美丽的课。
I'd like to have you speak more for the ministry if you can, if you want.
如果你想的话，你可以继续。
No， 他说以后
后
给他的分身，他的 ministry，
他说妈来，如果你愿意的话，以后来到我们的委员会给我们讲一堂课，来，欢迎你来我们的委员会来一堂课。
Because we believe that the leaders need to listen this.
因为我相信领导们需要听这样的课。
我们需要做好的榜样。All right, we have to show the example. It's not enough just to speak about it.
当然，只是说还不够，还需要有榜样的力量。
I went to the Gaudiya Math temple. I was in one of the Gaudiya Math temples, and I saw all the brahmacharis were out there in the garden. They were doing all the gardening, the weeding, and everything.
我去了高迪亚的庙，我看有一些 brahmachari 在这个花园里面亲自去干活。
Yeah, brahmacharis.
这种生在他们那个花园里头亲自去。
But we don't get our brahmacharis to go out too much to do
我
that.
们可没让这种生干那么多活。
They all want to just be behind the counter, take the money, sell the goods.
只是让他去弄点钱。
他们在店里卖东西。
这种生在店里头卖货就收钱了，没下地去干活。
Maharaj, I want to mention there is Chintamani. Actually, she's building this house with her own hands.
他自己盖这个房子，用自己的手。
你们知道这个墙是怎么盖起来的吗？是请他们妈你用自己的双手一点一点盖起来的。
I also want to thank Gauranga Prabhu. Gauranga, he also helped a lot with his own hands to build here.
Chinese boy， 狗让个跑步也来帮忙。那个多帕蒂的儿子。
And also is one devotee from America who lives in Vrindavan, Giridhari Prabhu and his family.
给你打的跑步也是来自于美洲的，他们全家也来帮忙。
The master engineer here for this construction.
Really？
他是一个工程师，
他是这里的工程。
对，这里的工程师，不是美国工程师，这里。
他设计这个计划。
这个都是他设计的，本土工程师。
Maharaj, and if anybody would like to come and experience natural building and understand how everything works, they are very welcome
非
anytime.
常欢迎大家来这里体验自然的生活，这个房子怎么自然建起来的，等等等等，欢迎大家来看体验。
Chintamani Peshungo, Tachancha Iga Kochangsa, Indunanbu Peshungo, Tata, Yakai Joni. Chintamani went to South India to learn all this, so I think she can teach them.
What time is your lecture, Maharaj?
2:30. What time is it now?
Now it's 1:27.
Oh, it's only, we're in it, yeah.
So maybe even if you have to share in 10-15 minutes.
Oh, yeah, no problem.
You can take some time.
Mm-hmm.
I also, of course, want to thank Maharaj for coming.
感谢Maharaj的光临。
This is a great blessing that we can celebrate the new year coming this 2022 together.
适逢赶到2022年元旦1月1号新年。
And all the Chinese devotees, very Kashyades devotees.
Kashyades.
Kashyades devotees, very good hearts.
中国的奉献者心肠都那么好啊，柔软呐，哎呀妈呀！
Great blessing for us.
所以你们来都给我们那个美好的祝福了。
Some people may think, oh, this is going back. This is not progress. This is degradation. We're
有人认为，哎呀，这哪是过时？这不是要回归远古的自然生活了？这哪是什么好的节目？堕落了。
If we had a big multi-story condominium, we think, oh, this is progress. Very good. Your condo, the guy like Gauji, the Gaulodasha.
如果有这种高楼大厦的话，那种才叫现代生活。你到这里哪是现代生活？恢复了远古。
Thank you for all your teachings, Maharaj. I have a question regarding our cows.
有关我们母牛的问题。
We see in reality, maybe we like devotees are using so many milk products, but like Maharaj was saying, back to Raghava Maharaj, he won't eat some vegetables if it's not grown by the devotees. I feel similar as devotees. We need to be sincere to don't drink the milk if we don't protect the cow. Because what we're doing now, we are exploiting our cow so much. It's all about business. Everybody's selling ghee, butter, everybody's selling all these milk products and paneer. We're having all this luxury without protecting the cow. And I feel this is not correct. We should maybe from our leaders give these directions. We're not protecting the cow. We don't have the right to eat so many milk products, right? If we offer 10 Sundays, we can offer one, but it needs to be sure the baby cow is nourished.
他说这个提到了 Raghava Swami 说去他的门徒家，如果你们没有生产粮食，我不去吃。尤其是这个奶制品呢，我们觉得是不是过多的？你用这个母牛啊，那牛奶做这种奶制品啊，黄油啊、ghee 啊，这种pioneer 就是那个奶酪啊，如果过多的使用，是不是对母牛的一种剥削？
如果我们没有保护，如果我们自己没有保护母牛，我们没有这个吃他们的奶制品。
如果我们没有过多的专注于保护好母牛的话，我们对他们是一种，他说是剥削，exploit，
yeah.
是一种剥削。就你用这个母牛，你没照顾好这个母牛，使劲给它挤奶做，就你的索取太多，照顾它太少，他问的怎么能平衡呢？如何平衡一下？
There are some of the devotees or some of the leaders in our society they've taken to the vegan diet, unless it's the ahimsa milk, unless the milk comes from our own protected cows, they won't take any of the milk
在我们的
products.
意识康中有一些领导，他们就吃那种 vegan 的纯素哈，他们就连这种动物的母牛的牛奶他们都不喝，他们认为从保护母牛角来说，牛奶他们都不喝。
And Jayadvaita Swami, he came up with a policy. He said that because he drinks milk, he likes to have a glass of milk, he says that he will give money for cow protection.
那个加对的 Swami 他出台了一个政策，就是说，如果你要喝牛奶的话，你应该给一些布施，用来保护母牛的这一点布施，你才可以喝奶。
Jayadvaita Swami Taziji Zojiya, he gives the donation. Because he drinks milk, so he will give, according to the quantity of how much milk he drinks, he will give that much money to cow protection project.
根据你喝多少牛奶，给多少布施，用来保护母牛。
Because they do need help to do these things.
因为他们做这些也需要帮助，
It's not so easy, you know.
不是那么容易的事儿。
Maintaining cows,
维系母牛不容易，
they need grass,
他们需要吃草。
and sometimes if you don't have enough land, then it's very difficult.
如果没有地儿的话，你要养牛那太难了。
How much land do you need actually, do you think, for cows?
If you produce everything for the cow, it's almost like 2 acres per cow.
Per cow, 2 acres.
2亩地儿，来，就是维系一头牛的话，你最少是要2亩地儿，2亩地那么大，才能维系一头牛，母牛。
But of course, a lot of that 2 acres could be corn, millets. You take the grain, the cow takes the stock.
Yeah. You can grow crops on the land.
如果你在地里要种草、种庄稼的话，
Like corn.
啊，种玉米。如果你在土地上种苞米的话
And，these different, and we
就不一样了。
you take the corn and you give the stalk, the plant. The cow eats the plant. You see, the cow will eat the plant, and you take the corn. You take the cob. You know, that's for cooking, and the plant, that's what the cow eats.
我当然。
牛吃那个草和杆儿，我们拿玉米，我们收果子，
然后呢？
吃草，牛吃草和那个长出来的杆儿。
牛吃草和长出的杆儿，然后呢，我们吃玉米。哎呀妈呀！就种了这个玉米吧，有很多好处。我们吃玉米啊，剩那杆儿啊，什么也给母牛吃了。这人和牛都有了。
Because we're going to serve Prasad in 15 minutes. Can we do some 15 minutes here?
Okay, yeah. Okay, so we're going to have kirtan for 15 minutes, and then we'll have prasada.
然后我们现在有15分钟的 kirtan 之后荣耀菩萨的。
Srila Prabhupada ki.
So the kirtan we're going to do here, okay?
我们在这儿做 kirtan。
This is actually Lord Jagannath, Baladevan,